Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning back in. Today we'll be doing a in-depth breakdown of the FMOD studio system I built for the platformer jam. If you haven't checked that video out, I'll leave a link right here so you can go watch it and catch up with what we're gonna talk about today. So as a disclaimer, there is no right or wrong way to do this. There's different approaches, and this was my particular approach for this specific game jam, right? So yeah, pretty much that's it. Without further ado, let's hop right in. Okay, so this is the FMOD Studio project right here. As you can see, I divided the events into three main categories, which is music, player, and the world, right? I'll go in depth in all of them, but I think I'll start first with the music systems, because I really like the music system. So yeah, as you can see, there are multiple events here. I'll go into depth through all of them, but basically I'll make a brief explanation of what each of this does. So the Dark World music event, as its name says, it's pretty much the event that's gonna play the whole music system that's gonna be played whenever you are in the Dark World, whenever you swap. The Light World music, it's the same, but for the Light World, the other world, the menu music, that's the music that you're gonna hear whenever you are in the main menu about to play. The tutorial music, which then again, it's the music that'll play whenever you're in the tutorial.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
And transition to DW, I'll go into depth on this. It's pretty much, there's drum fills for the transition for when you go from the light world to the dark world. So this is an event that will get played when you transition, right? And the game music event, which pretty much contains all the game music, so the light world music and the dark world music with its respective transitions. And finally, the music event, which pretty much sums the whole system up into just one event, where you can go from the menu to the tutorial, you can go to the game, right? These are all nested events. As you can see, it's pretty much the same events that we have here, right? The game music, this is that event. The tutorial music, this event, you know, so it's pretty much a macro event, if you will, that contains pretty much all the music system for the programmer just to play this event from the beginning of the game. And by switching parameters, I'll go into depth into what these parameters are in a bit. We'll know what the player state is, where is a player currently standing, and the system will know what music should sound in what time and what transition should occur, right? So let's go in with the light world. So for the light world, both the light world and the dark world, I decided to take a vertical approach, which means instead of building a whole track like I did for the menu music right here, which is a horizontal approach because it's kind of like a linear approach to the music, right? Where you play it and it'll play the whole file and then just loop back and everything. I decided to take a vertical approach, which means I separated the music into stems, right? So as you can see here, we got the ambience pad, we got the bass, we got the main melody, second melody, an arpeggiator, a hi-hat loop, and the drums. So yeah, as you can see, the ambience pad, I have two variations for it. Then this main melody, second melody, the arpeggiator, they're all one variation, such as the drums. But it will trigger based on probability. What this means is basically, in this scenario, like for example, for the arpeggiator, it means that there is a 40% chance, 45% chance for this particular stem to be turned on whenever the loop goes back in, right? So the whole system, it's pretty much consists of this A section, this B section, this C section, right? So whenever you first get into the game, the event will start playing from here. you'll hear the pad alone for itself, and then it'll start looping, right? And in this section, this is where the whole variation and randomization will start, right? As soon as you fall into this loop, the system will randomly pick from all of these stems, right? So each time the loop plays back, it will pick a different stem. This also includes the amps pad, which will always be turned on. The pad is going to be the glue for the whole music, but I included two variations. So same, there's like a probability, a 30% probability for the second variation to come in at any time that the loop comes back to it, and the main pad will have a 70% probability of just sounding all the time, right? So let's hear a bit of how this sounds. I'm gonna trigger it again so you can see how it changes. As you can see, some of the stems get like turned on, and others get deactivated. So as soon as this is looping, it will be constantly doing that. So it will add a lot of randomization for the music, right? Then this this transition marker, right? It basically tells the system, hey, once you hit this, you have to make a transition to the B section in this case, which is this part. And it's also based on probability. So there's a 15% chance that whenever it loops back and it gets to that point, it'll transition to the B section, right? Same thing here, but this one will always happen, right? So whenever you go to the B section, it will play one time and then it'll automatically go to the C section. And yeah, basically the whole game, after like you done this and you got to the C section, it's always gonna constantly keep on looping on the C section and going back to the B section in a random way to just keep it dynamic. So let's see what the B section and the C section sound like. So yeah, that's a bit of what it sounds like, and that's the whole system for the light world. Now let's switch to the dark world. Dark world has a similar approach, where the first time the event gets played, you will get the drum loop, the bass, and this bass wop sound. Let's hear how that sounds like. And then as the game progresses, you'll eventually reach this loop, which will do pretty much the same thing as a light world, which is I have a bunch of variations for the arpeggiator, and some of the stems are triggered by probability, right? So every time this plays, you'll get a different outcome. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the whole Dark World system. Now, let's go to the game music event, which contains both of these. Now we're getting into parameters and everything. So, this whole system, I built it depending on two parameters, which are distance to dark and distance to light. These parameters will basically measure the distance from the player to the closest item. Distance to dark will measure the distance when you are in the light world to the dark item that you'll grab and will make you switch into the dark world, right? And the distance to light will do the same thing. When you are inside of the dark world, it will measure the distance into the item that will make you switch back to the light world, right? So basically these parameters will control the whole transitions, right? Let's see how this plays in action. So let's say we're here at the light world, right? Let's start with that. As the distance to dark parameter decreases, whenever it hits 2, which was the number that functioned for Unity, it will automatically transition into the dark world. In this transition, if we go inside the transition timeline, we can see that we have the transition to DW event, which was what I was talking about a moment ago, which they're pretty much drum fields. And this command instrument that will pretty much tell the okay, hold up. Alright, so just for demonstration purposes, I got the item that will switch you to the dark world and the item that will get you to the light world into the system so you can see how it works. Talking about the actual project in Unity, we had to split these objects into different events that would have to be called separately because 3D spatialization needed that. Let me show you real quick what the dark world item actually sounds like. So as you can see, the distance to dark parameter is affecting the item to dark world as well, right? So if I play the event, there's nothing sounding. But whenever the parameter starts getting closer to 2, the item appears, right? So it's kind of like as you start getting closer to the item starts appearing. And it's the same concept for the light world. There we go. Okay, so now that we know how both of these items sound like, let's see how that works in action in the game music event. Let's see how that plays. So let's assume right now we're in the light world music, right? And the player starts getting closer to the item that's gonna make him switch. And the player grabs the item. So now the player is in the dark world and will switch back to light. Right, so as you can see, there's also a warp sound coming from this, which is this player switch worlds sound. Let me get it real quick. So this pretty much sounds like this. That's the sound effects for when you switch to the other world, right? So yeah, this gets played as soon as a transition pops. You get that drum feel and that switch world sound, and then you're in the dark world, right? And whenever you come back from the light world, you get closer to the item, it starts sounding, and then you have a bunch of automations for reverb and EQ that will pretty much alter whenever the distance to light parameter starts moving. So here we go. Yeah, you can see it here. So whenever the distance to light starts fading in, the reverb transition send will get increased, the delay width level will get increased as well, the dry level will stay the same, and then the low EQ will pretty much drop down, so it kind of kills the low frequencies in the transition, right? That's pretty much the whole system for the game music. And of course, the item, which is a key that will get you to win the level, appears only in the dark world. So therefore I made this parameter called win, which pretty much has the in-game state and won state. So this parameter will basically let the system know that whenever the player grabs the key, this value will get turned to 1, and that means you won. And from there, it will play this win stinger, right? That will pretty much tell our player that he won. So yeah, let's see that in action. Cool, so our little player just won, and after that there's this command instrument that basically tells this game music event to stop, so it will only get triggered again if the programmer calls it in another level or something. This command instruments, they basically just reset the values of the distance to dark and distance to light parameters back to their original values, because since the transitions rely on these parameters, if they stay in the same value, once you transition, the system kind of breaks, and it starts going all wrong. So this command instruments will basically reset the value for the parameters, so that will not happen, and we will all be happy with it, and the transitions will work. So that's pretty much it for the whole game music. Now the tutorial music. The tutorial music is very simple. I built it up with the same stems that I used for the light world music, and just built like kind of a horizontal approach to this tutorial music. Let's hear what that sounds like. So after that, it'll loop back around and it will work every time. The menu music, I mean, there's not that big of a deal in the menu music. It's just a horizontal approach, same thing. Whenever you play the event, it starts from here, it will go all the way, and then it'll loop back, right? So that's pretty much it for the menu music. Let's see what that sounds like. Alright, so now that we covered all of the events individually, let's just look at the music event, which pretty much sums the whole system up. So this system basically relies on the player state parameter, which includes menu with a value of 0, tutorial with a value of 1, and game with the value of 2, right? So what this parameter will dictate pretty much is it will tell the system where the player is currently at, right? So if he's at the main menu, it'll loop around the menu music. As soon as this transition hits the tutorial, right, then we'll switch to tutorial music. And whenever the tutorial music switches from tutorial to game, we'll go to the game music, right? So yeah, let's see what this sounds like. So yeah, that's the whole music system, pretty much. Now that we covered the music system, let's go to the player events. These are quite simple. So ideally in the game, the player had a dash ability. So I made 3 sound design variations to be chosen from this event, which sounds like this. So that would be called, this event would be called whenever the player dashed, right, in the game. Then we have the footsteps. I made both variations for a concrete surface and a wooden surface, right? The concrete would be pretty much the whole level is concrete, and the wooden floor would be, we were going to add some crates, some wooden crates in the game. So whenever you walked on top of the crates or something, the surface type would change to wood to reproduce that. So let's hear what the footsteps sound like, both in concrete and wood. Then we have the same for the jump, both concrete and wood, ruled by the same parameter, the same surface type parameter. We have the same thing for the landing sound effects. Now we go into the player hit axe. So ideally in the game, there are some axes that are swinging. Those are like kind of traps. So what I did was I built sound design for the getting hit per se, and then I recorded myself doing different grunts. And I just added these variations into 2 different multi-instruments, so each time it plays, it will pretty much combine the layers and always give a different result, right? So let's hear what that sounds like. Now let's move up to the player hit lava. So ideally in the game, there is some lava in some spots that you cannot step on.
No shit, Sherlock!
Right? So what we had thought and what we had in mind was whenever you step on the lava, the player will drown in the lava, right? So we need like that drowning sound effects. And I did the same. I made a sound effects for the lava per se, the whole like drowning sound, which is this. And then I recorded a bunch of different grunts as well that will get randomly chosen and will always be different. So you'll get different painful grunts whenever the player drowns. So yeah, let's hear what that sounds like. Now we got the player switch worlds, which I already showed at the beginning. It's pretty much just this sound. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else, bro. And yeah, those are all the player sound effects and the systems. Now let's go to the world ones, right? So we got a general ambience that will sound for both the light world and the dark world. I wanted to do different ones, but since in the game they weren't that different, I decided a general ambience like for a dungeon would work well. So this is the ambient I came up with. Then we have the lava sound, which is the general sound that you'll hear whenever you get close to a spot where there is some lava in the floor. And it'll loop back. There's not much besides that. At last, we have the torch sound, which, I mean, bro, there's not much to it. It's just a torch sound. And now we come to the trap axe. So this is a sound that the axe does whenever it's swinging. So I did 5 variations. I did 5 variations for different sounds that the trap axe would do. And this is what it does. This is how it sounds like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The trap spikes, I never got to do the trap spikes because we never got to do spikes in the game. But there were supposed to be some spikes, so I had the event just made up in case we had time to do it. We didn't. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole system for both music and sound effects. So that was the whole video. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep on watching content like this. I'll make sure to keep posting more if you guys like it. And leave some comments as well. Tell me what you thought of the system, if you like the music, what would you have done differently. I'm really open to listening to all of you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. Thank you so much for sticking through to the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.